Good morning, everyone. It's Paulette. It's August 22nd, 2026. It's a 4-day, which is universal creation, the seasons, the phases of the moon, and it's the created order of Earth. And it's my 130th video, which I wanted to talk to you. I think I said, yeah, yesterday. I did say that in my video. There was a guy with the number 22 shirt. And how I said I got gas and it was 2220. And that was my first standout from the number 22. And I guess I didn't realize it was the number 22 that was sticking out to me until I found the guy wearing the shirt that said 22 on it. Which reminded me of my gas. And then as I was creating the video, writing up the notes for today, I realized it's the 22nd. I'm like, wow, there's 22 again. And if you break down 130, that's the number 4, which is 2 and 2. So, you got your 22 if you 2 and 2. And yeah, and it just, that number just really went with a lot of things that that I'm gonna put. Well, then I was gonna cross off, because I had jotted down on a piece of paper all the Psalms that I needed to do in order to end on the Psalms, with the Psalms that I was catching up. And so I wanted to cross off where I was at. And yesterday, because it started with 30 days. And so yesterday was, when you're counting down, was 22. So 22 days till the end of the Psalms, which is, like I had stated, would be on 9/11. So I was like, oh, I'm getting tingles. So yeah, like I said, I don't know what's gonna happen on that day, if anything. Just like today. Well, and then another thing that stood out about the number 22 was I was watching a video, and it was like a rapture video or something, I think. To be honest with you, I don't really recall, but I did jot down the message that someone had in the comments. And it was a lady that had said that she had a friend that was in prayer. And this is what she wrote. She said she was tired and didn't know if she could finish the race. The Spirit of the Lord spoke to her clearly and said, I'm coming any minute now. Tell my people to keep looking for me. They'll see me soon. And so, and then she used a checkered flag in there. So the first thing that stuck out to me was the race, finish the race, because that relates back to another video I watched maybe like a week ago. And it was about someone was doing a video about President Trump. I guess it's for today. I don't know if it was NASCAR or yeah, I think no, Indy 500. I'm not into the racing stuff, so I don't know if there's a difference. It might be the Indy 500, not NASCAR. But anyway, it's some famous car racing, whatever. Is going to be at the White House today, August 22nd. And they did the checkered flag. And I was like, wow, okay, so there's my 22 again, which comes from her note. It just, yeah, it just, things just kept them popping up. So I'm like, okay, it's definitely that 22. So I was like, I'm going to research 22. So I'm going to go over what I found for 22, which I find so coincidental, because all this is, well, I can't say all of it, but majority of it, because, well, the first thing that stuck out to me is that it talked about the 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet, which God used to speak creation and write His word. And I'm like, wow, that's where all things basically start and end. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So I was like, well, what day was that I did that video? And so I was going back, in my, which I'm going to have to go, I think it's 119. Yeah, it was video 119, which was on 8/11. Yeah, and then I said my 119 is 9/11 backwards in that video. Yeah, because it was actually 22 days until 9/11. That was where the 22 came from. Just things that God's pointing out to me. And then also, there's 22, I find this very fascinating, 22 creative acts during the 6 days of creation, in books and chapters. The book of Revelation contains 22 chapters. And some traditional accounts group Old Testaments into 22 books, so when I was like, oh, that's fascinating, because, like I said, I don't really know the Bible all that well. I know there's 66 books. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, I was looking to see how they could do that, so I was pulling up my Bible, and then it just led me to say, okay, well, what is the 22nd book of the Bible? And it's the Songs of Solomon is the 22nd book of the Bible. And it's often known as Song of Songs. And because I'm not really familiar with the Bible, I'm like, what the heck is Songs of Solomon? Because I was like, I'm going to have to listen to it, read it. My audio book is actually in the King James, so I can read along with it while it's being spoken to me. But, which I did, and I was actually in tears. It touched my heart so much. yeah, it was, yeah, so it's a book, and a- it's like a, almost like a love story, you know, to be honest with you. So it's that romantic love, desire, and physical intimacy are a beautiful, powerful gift from God, meant to be enjoyed within marriage. It all often represents God's relationship with His people. It describes the type of relationship that the Lord desires to have with His people, to be united with God and His wisdom. And yeah, it was very touching. Um, yeah, I mean, being in tears just remembering it. But then there's emotional Paulette. So also it's Psalm 22, where um, you know it starts out with um, I don't know. I think it starts out that way. I'm not sure. Um, I wanted to read it to you. Yeah, it does start out that way. So Psalm 22. And this is what he said on the cross. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from helping me? And from my words of my, well, he didn't say all of it. He just said, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? But, and then it goes on, why art thou so far from helping me? And from the words of my roaring. O my God, I cry in the daytime, but thou hearest not, and in the night season, and am not silent. But thou art holy, O thou that inhabitest the praises of Israel. Our fathers have trusted in thee. They trusted, and thou didst deliver them. They cried unto thee, and they delivered. They trusted in thee, and were not confounded. But I am a worm, and no man, a reproach of men, and a despise of the people. All they that see me laugh me to scorn. They shoot out the lip. They spake the head, saying, He trusted on the Lord, that he would deliver him. Let him deliver him, seeing he delighted in him. But thou art he that took me out of the womb. Thou didst make me hope when I was upon my mother's breast. I was cast upon thee from the womb. Thou art my God from my mother's belly. Be not from me, for trouble is near, for there is none to help. Many bulls have compassed me, strong bulls of Bashan have beset me round. They gaped upon me with their mouths, as a ravening and roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax, it is melted in the midst of my bowels. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue cleaveth in my jaws. And thou hast brought me into the dust of death. For dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierce my hands and my feet. I will tell all my bones, they look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them and cast lots upon my vesture. And that is what happened when he was on the cross. But be not though far from me, O Lord. O my strength has thee to help me. Deliver my soul from the sword, my darling from the power of the dog. Save me from the lion's mouth, for thou hast heard me from the horns of the unicorns. I will desire thy name unto my brethren. In the midst of the congregations will I praise thee. Ye that fear the Lord, praise him. All ye the seed of Jacob, glorify him, and fear him, all ye the seed of Israel. For he hath not despised nor abhorred the affliction of the afflicted, neither hath he hid his face from him, but when he cried unto him, he heard. My praise shall be on thee in the great congregation. I will pay my vows before them that fear him. The meek shall eat and be satisfied. They shall praise the Lord that seek him. Your heart shall live forever. All the ends of the world shall remember and turn into the Lord, and all the kindreds of the nations shall worship before thee. For the kingdom is the Lord's, and he is governed among the nations. All they that be fat upon earth shall eat and worship. All they that go down to the dust shall bow before him, and none can keep alive his own soul. A seed shall serve him. It shall be accounted to the Lord for a generation. They shall come and shall declare his righteousness until a people that shall be born, that he hath done this. So that was Psalm 22. And I did want to go back to see what day was it that I did that psalm catching up. It was on August 8th. I did that, and it was my 116th video, which I find fascinating because if you flip 116 upside down, that's 9/11. And I'm tingling. And I brought that up in a video on how God speaks to me. And that's my current license plate. If you take the letters and the numbers together, it would be 11 and 6. And I was saying, if you flip that upside down, it's 9/11, because the reason why I said that is because, oh my, I didn't even realize that, because I was upset that I got a new license plate, because Pennsylvania changed, they got new license plates, and since my van is, I got my van in December of 06, so it's working on almost 20 years old, my license plate. And my daughter had told me, she says, I got some mail for you, and I think you got a license plate. I'm like, what? So I did a Google search to see if everybody in Pennsylvania was going to get the new license plate. And it said that no. Unless your plate is deemed to be not reflected anymore. So I was like, okay, well, I didn't think my plate looked that old. But then I was like, I did get an inspection in May, And I'm like, well, maybe they have to report old license plates or something like that. I didn't know. Maybe, that's part of their inspection to make sure that the license plate is still reflected. I don't know. I was just guessing. So she comes and gives it to me, and I was like, I said, I also read that if you're going to get a new license plate, the state sends you a letter stating that you're going to get that plate before. And so I said that to her, and then she whips out the letter. I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah, so she said, well, welcome to the club. And I said, I didn't want to be a part of that club. I mean, I hate when they force things on you. It's like, I didn't choose that license plate. It's not like I went out and got a new vehicle and I knew I was going to get a new plate or whatever. It was something that was forced on me, and so I was upset. So it was like flipping my world upside down. So that's how I felt, because I really did not want a new license plate, because as I had said, I felt my license plate meant something, my old license plate, which point when and it was meant for me to figure it out now, because it was 2026, and then it was 9. Okay? Which, when you think about it, it just pointed me to September of this year. That's all it pointed me out to. Okay? Now my new license plate, flipping my world upside down, is 9/11. It just... Yeah. Because I was thinking, I'm like, this new license plate is just, because it was just, it's NJE 1419. And I'm like, 1419, yeah, okay. It just, but it just didn't stand out to me. Like, if I was to go down the road and look at someone's license plate, there's numbers that just pop to me. That number would not pop to me. That would, it would get me curious, but it would not pop. And there's a difference. If you're drawn to numbers, you understand. But yeah. And so, yeah, I find it profound that now, because I didn't notice that yesterday when I was doing my video. As I was reading Psalm 22, it was in my head to go see when that was. Yeah, and it was my 116th video that I read Psalm 22 in. And that just reminded me of my license plate. And yeah. I find this stuff fascinating. Like I said, I don't necessarily know exactly, what it all means. But it's pointing me to something. It's pointing me to today. And I did a personal video for myself, and so, I almost wish I wouldn't have done that, because I get original thoughts. When I do the videos for you, I get original thoughts. Things cross my mind because I'm speaking it out, but now I already spoke it out, so I feel like it's not original, but the 116 is original because I did not realize that yesterday. That just dawned on me now. But, yeah. I just find that so fascinating. There was something I was going to say and I forgot, but and I'm also going to read Numbers 22 to you, because I had said in a previous video just recently, God wanted me, what video was that? I gotta go back now, because I said God wanted me to read Numbers. I said, now I'm gonna have to read Numbers. And yeah, I'm trying to think, what day was that I was reading something, and I said, I don't even know what Numbers is about. Guess I'll have to read that. And then I said, okay, yeah, because I got body tingles, and so I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and read Numbers, which I listened to Numbers, not read it. Yeah, it's not sticking out to me now. Yeah, it was just recently though. It was this week. It definitely was this week. That was it in the yeah, I don't want to waste your time. But yeah, I'm back to no views on my videos, which is fine. I'm for somebody. I don't know who, but someone. You know, like I said, it can just be one. And it could be one on the last day, right before. And it could just be my voice that they hear. You know, it could just be something. Yeah, oh, I'm not going to waste any more time trying to figure out when it was Numbers. So, yeah, so Numbers was, because I'm going to read Numbers starting from verse 22, because it was Numbers 22, and it says Balaam and his talking donkey. And I was like, you know, I remember that when I was listening to it, and I just was so amazed that God had the donkey speak to Balaam. And so if you don't know anything about Balaam was a non-Israelite prophet and a diviner from Pethor, and he was hired by King Balak of Moab to curse the Israelites. And since, because God commanded him through what I'm, you know, through his interaction, and it wasn't in here, but so he was unable to curse Israel directly. So he advised Balaam, or Balak, to trap Israel using Moabite women and idolatry, and it brought on a plague. And yeah, so Balaam actually later died, and he was killed in a battle in in Numbers 31:8. So I'm gonna read, because I read it in my personal video, and I started crying because it's like I heard it, but I did not
pick up on some things. So
starting, so Numbers 22, starting at number 22. And God's, so, okay, so the lead up to this point, okay, was Balaam was on his way to go to curse the Israelites. So he was riding his donkey and he was on this trail, and the donkey, oh, I'm tingling, and the donkey, oh Lord, and the donkey kept on going off the trail. And so Balaam would hit the donkey, basically saying, get back on the trail. Well, he did it 3 times. And then that's when this kind of like picks up. And God's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way of the adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his 2 servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. And the angel turned aside out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. But the angel of the Lord stood in the path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side, and a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she thrust herself into the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again. And the angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place, where was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And when the ass saw the angel of the Lord, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with a staff. And the Lord opened, this is 28, verse 28, and the Lord opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, what have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto the ass, because thou hast mocked me, and I would there be a sword in my hand, for now would I have killed thee. And that's verse 29, which goes back to my 29, July 29th, when I was getting all these epiphanies. Yeah, I find that fascinating. That's 29. That just really, I didn't hear that when I was listening to it. And that just really, to think that if he had a sword, he would have killed the donkey. But listen on. And the ass said unto Balaam, Am not I thine ass upon which thou hast ridden ever since I was thine unto this day? Was I ever wont to do so unto thee? And he said, Nay. Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam. I'm going to start crying again. This is where I started crying. Lord. So, I'm tingling so bad. Alright. Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand. So he saw God holding a sword in his hand. And Balaam bowed down his head and fell flat on his face. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, Wherefore hast thou smitten thine ass these 3 times? Behold, I went out to withstand thee, because thy way is perverse before me. And the ass saw me and turned from me these 3 times. Unless she had turned from me, surely now also I had slain thee and saved her life. Because God had a sword. Yeah. And Balaam said unto the angel of the Lord, I have sinned. Is this just an angel? Because this is an angel of the Lord. So it might not be God. It just is an actual angel of God. So I'll correct that. It's an angel of the Lord. I have sinned. You know, I guess it's profound because he's bowing down to this angel. It must be like a really profound experience, like a glorious feeling, because just to see something that you don't know, I would think that would make you feel differently. I'm just thinking this through. Yeah, I'm thinking, because I'm a visualist, so I'm just thinking of how I would react. It would have to be something really glorious for me to be really in awe. Of course, it's the angel of the Lord, so this must be a really, it's not just an ordinary angel, it's an angel of the Lord. Okay, enough of that. And Balaam said unto the angel of the Lord, I have sinned, for I knew not thou stoodest in the way against me. Now therefore, if it displease thee, I will get me back again. And the angel of the Lord said unto Balaam, Go with the men, but only with the word that I shall speak unto thee, that thou shalt speak. So Balaam went with the princes of Balak. And when Balak heard that Balaam was come, he went out to meet him unto a city of Moab, which is the border of Arnon, which is the outmost coast. And Balak said unto Balaam, Did I not earnestly send unto thee to call thee? Wherefore camest thou not unto me, and not able indeed to promote thee to honor? And Balaam said unto Balak, Lo, I am come unto thee. Have I now any power at all to say anything? Yeah, because Balaam could not say anything that the angel of the Lord wouldn't allow. I mean, he had to praise the Israelites. So the word that God putteth in my mouth, that I shall speak. And Balaam went with Balak, and they came unto Kirjath Huzo. And Balak offered oxen and sheep and sent to Balaam and the princes that were with him. And it came to pass on the morrow that Balak took Balaam and brought him up into the high places of Baal, that thence he might see the outmost part of the people. So that was chapter 22 of Numbers. And so also 22 is in Genesis 22, which this, like I said, this is all like stuff that I have commented on. So Genesis 22 is where God's testing Abraham by offering Isaac on Mount Moriah. And I have stated, yeah, I don't know anyone that could, Abraham loved God so much that he was going to kill his own son because that's what God commanded. And I don't know if there's anyone that would. I love God very much, but I don't know if I could. No. What do you mean I don't know? I know. I know I could not kill my own children, let alone anyone. Just, yeah. Even if you wiped my memory of knowing who that person was, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. And then Revelation 22, which is the final chapter of the Bible, describing the river of water of life in the New Jerusalem. Where we're gonna reside. So, 42 minutes, but that's okay. Like I said, no one's watching these videos. And if you are here, you are just miraculous human being. I will have to say that. So 130 in Greek Strongs is an effusion or shedding of blood. Isn't that interesting? And then in Hebrew Strong, it's an Edomite or Edom. Yeah, very fascinating. And then also Psalm 49. That's a 13 or a 4 or 2 and a 2. And it's the Songs of Korah. It teaches that all people, both rich and poor, will die. Yeah, you're all the same. Money and gold cannot buy life or save a person from the grave. So people should not fear or envy the wealthy. And oh yeah, I did make this point. Maybe that's why I'm thinking about that, because in my own, like I said, in my own personal video, I had this epiphany while I was reading Numbers 22 about the donkey and Balaam. Balaam did not know what the donkey was seeing, and oh yeah, I'm getting to body tingles. Yeah, God wanted me to say this. Balaam did not know what the donkey was seeing, and and he was prejudging the donkey. And I have made a comment. You should not judge other people for what they're doing. Just like I was making a comment about these two young girls. Because I'm like a person that's into doing what is right. And there's this clothing donation thing in the Walmart parking lot. And I live in a pretty wealthy area. I live in the wealthiest county in the state of Pennsylvania. But just this general area has a lot of wealth. I mean, the DuPonts are from around here. They're in Delaware, obviously, but they built the high school in this town. They donated the money many years ago, obviously. But the DuPonts. And so there's a lot of money in this area. So, yeah, there's a lot of people that have money. And I have never seen a clothing drop location. And there's like, I think there's four things for people to put clothing in. And it gets so much that people put it on the outside. And I've seen so many people go there and just take stuff. You know, because people put it on the side. And I've seen kids. It's so crazy. And I can't believe people let their kids do this. You know, I have so many mixed emotions about it. And you can tell that these people are not hurting that come and take stuff, because they have nice vehicles. And yeah, it's not like they're coming up in some broken down vehicle and they're really hurting. And the kids jumping out of the vehicle one day, it reminded me of a bank robbery. How they just ran out real quick, you know, went through the bags real fast, and they found these like miniature, like I don't know what you want to call them. It's like a longboard, but they're short. They're like shorter than a longboard. But someone had that, and they grabbed, like, it was crazy. Like 3 or 4 of them were. And I was just like, to me, it's just so wrong for you know. But then, you know, I can't sit and judge. I know it's wrong. Just like I saw these two young girls, and I've seen them before. So it's not like the first time they've ever done it. They do it on a regular basis. And they went and took clothes, and they took like bags, like I swear they probably had like 4 bags stuffed of clothing that they found. And I guess, you know, I could say it's before I read this numbers and I had this epiphany. And that's why, you know, the Bible has multiple meanings behind this stuff. Like someone saying, oh, you can, because I was saying that you can eat, because to me, my spiritual eyes, and I'm not the only one, God made things clean. He told Peter to eat. to eat the things that were previously unclean. And a lot of people are like, you don't eat pork. That's like, which I understand that. But you know what? God made everything clean. And then when I said, well, something about praying over your food, and then someone's like, well, if he made everything clean, why are you praying? And I'm like, oh my goodness, people. What's wrong with giving thanks over your food and, and wanting your food to nourish your body, asking things like that? Like, what, are you supposed to be unthankful and not pray? I'm trying to be better with praying and being thankful for my food instead of just eating it, because that's what I've done for many, many, being 61 and then, having a new way. It's a hard swing. But I know I am a changed person. But there's some things that you have to overcome, like the praying thing over your, being thankful for your food. Or just being thankful for anything, like your vehicle. Like I talk to my vehicle. I say thank you. Thank you for running for me. Thank you for being reliable. It's going to be 20 years old. And I haven't had any problems with it, and I'm so grateful for that. Yeah. And so, so I was talking about how Balaam was prejudging the donkey. He didn't know what the donkey was seeing or experiencing. And he was angry because it wasn't doing what he thought the donkey should be doing. And so I don't know what those two young girls are going through. And, like I said, I'm into righteous, but I'm someone that I'm not going to report someone. But if someone got caught and I was a witness, I speak the truth. I'm not going to cause problems for someone. But, and I think I said this in my video yesterday, how if I'm going to lie, you know I'm lying. Like, and I did give an example. I'm pretty sure it was in my video yesterday. It wasn't in my private video. Yeah, it was definitely in my video. Yesterday I did. Yeah, so, we're all, there's a final judge, and the final judge is God Almighty. And we need to do in our lives what we know is right. And because we don't know what someone else is going through. Like the one girl, she looked like she was pregnant. So, maybe that's their way of surviving, and maybe they, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I guess you can think that they use those clothes for themselves, so then they don't have to buy clothes. I know when I was younger, I did things that I'm not proud of, and I've repented of it. And we all do things at certain times of our life to get by that isn't right, and we know it's, and most likely we know it's, I know it. Well, what was funny is there was a storm coming in when those girls were stealing those clothes, and I'm telling you, I've never heard such a loud crack. And I guess there was a tornado in Dover Dover, Delaware, which is not too far from where I'm at, that went through with that storm that was there. But, yeah, because I had like 2 emergency tornado watch, severe weather alerts come on my phone with that storm. And, but they were in the midst of doing that when the storm was coming through. And yeah, there was this huge crack, and it actually rumbled the ground. It was so piercing loud, it hurt my ears. It scared the one girl. I'm like, yeah, God is not happy with what you 2 girls are doing. But you know what? They kept on doing what they were doing. They obviously weren't in tune. like I was being in tune. But, yeah, I'm just saying that. So, we have to get out of prejudging, because there's a final judge. And, yeah. So I'm going to read Psalm 49. This is a really long video. Psalm 49. Hear this, all ye people. Give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world. But both low and high, rich and poor together, my mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline my ear to a parable. I will open my dark saying upon the harp. Wherefore should I fear in the days of evil? Even the iniquity of my heels shall compass me about. They that trust in their wealth and boast themselves in the multitude of the riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. For the redemption of their soul is precious and ceaseth forever. That he should still live forever and not see corruption. For he seeth that wise men die, likewise the fool and the brutish person perish, and leave their wealth to others. The inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless, man being of honor abideth not. He is like the beasts that perish. This their way is their folly, yet their posterity approve their sayings. Selah. Like sheep they are laid in the grave. Deep shall feed on them, and the upright shall have domination over them in the morning, and their beauty shall consume in the grave from their dwelling. But God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me. Selah. Be not thou afraid when one is made rich, when the glory of his house is increased. For when he dieth, he shall carry nothing away. His glory shall not descend after him. Though while he lived, he blessed his soul, and men will praise thee when thou doest well to thyself. He shall go to the generation of his fathers. They shall never see light. Man that is in honor and understandeth not is like the beasts that perish. So that was Psalm 49, and now Psalm 50 is a song of Asaph that pictures God as a righteous judge, coming from Zion to address his people. Yeah, see? He's a judge. He explains that he does not need animal sacrifices because all animals belong to him. See, I always thought that must have been a Jewish, yeah, I don't know. No, not really, because I think I do recall God commanding them to take these sheep or, these oxen, whatever, and sacrifice. But so I'm a little mixed on this now. So he explains that he does not need animal sacrifices because all animals belong to him, and instead asks for true thankfulness, thankful promises, and a life that honors his command. So, yeah, that's interesting. So Psalm 50. The mighty God, even the Lord hath spoken, and called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God hath shined. O God shall come, and shall not keep silence. A fire shall devour before him, and it shall be very tempestuous about him. He shall call to the heavens from above, and to the earth, that he may judge his people. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. And the heavens shall be declared his righteousness, for God is judge himself. Selah. Hear, O my people, and I will speak. O Israel, and I will testify against thee. I am God, even thy God. I will not reprove thee for thy sacrifices or thy burnt offerings to have been continually before me. I will take no bullock out of thy house, nor he-goats out of thy folds. For every beast of the forest is mine, and the cattle upon 1,000 hills. I know all the fowls of the mountains, and the wild beasts of the field are mine. If I am hungry, I would not tell thee, or the world is mine, and the fullness thereof. Will I eat the flesh of bulls, or drink the blood of goats? Offer unto God thanksgiving, and pay thy vows unto the Most High. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. But unto the wicked God saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and casteth my words behind thee. When thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and hast been partaker with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thine own mother's son. These things hast thou done, and kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such an one as thyself. But I will reprove thee, and set them in order before thine eyes. Now consider this, ye that forget God, lest I tear you in pieces, and there be none to deliver. Whoso offereth praise glorifieth me, and to him that ordereth his conversation aright will I shew the salvation of God. So that was Psalm 50. And we're getting real long here, so my apologies. but God wanted me to say all this. So Psalm 130, and it's very short. It's a song of ascent, of deep despair turning into hope. Lord, my heart is not haughty, nor my eyes lofty. Neither do I sorry, that's the wrong psalm. Psalm 130. Out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. If thou, Lord, shouldest mark iniquities, O Lord, who shall stand? But there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. I await for the Lord, my soul doth wait, and in his word do I hope. My soul waiteth for the Lord more than they that watch for the morning. I say, more than they that watch for the morning. Let Israel hope for the Lord, for with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption, and he shall redeem Israel for all his iniquities. So that's Psalm 130, and I'm going to end this because I don't have much storage left on this phone. I'm so sorry this was so long, but yeah, I obeyeth God. Yeah. So we're going to keep looking up. Very curious if there's anything that we see or hear about today. But yeah, Jesus is coming to get his bride. Maranatha.